Keith here. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of the Hawea Grove. We have a roof. Let's start by looking at the design. We chose to go with two monopitch roofs rather than the traditional gable roof. We felt that with the shape of the house and having a second story, a full gabled roof would just be too big, both visually and in terms of the amount of materials being used. We did want a high ceiling in the living area to provide a nice sense of space, but we also wanted to make this functional. The design we have will help heat to be directed to the upper floor, where we have much lower ceilings to provide a more cozy feeling. As the ceiling spans an area greater than 6 by 6 meters, we needed a ply diaphragm for added strength. This ply layer also acts as a thermal break, helping to move that heat to the upper story, rather than losing it through the ceiling. On top of the ply and the rafters, we have a pro-climber product called Solitex Mento. This is specifically designed to help stop condensation, and it allows internal moisture to escape up through the fabric. We have vented battens in between the Solitex Mento and the roofing steel, plus the needed roofing system to put vents on the ends to help maximize the breathability in the roof cavity. We'll be installing a New Zealand wool insulation from Terralana into our ceiling space here, which has an impressive 6.2 R value. Below this will be another pro-climber product called Intello, which helps with air tightness. On the top we have a steel roof from Diamond. We prioritized function and cost by choosing a simple 5-rib product rather than the more expensive tray roofs you often see that really are just for aesthetics. We decided to use Diamond Roofing, which is owned by Fletcher Steel, because of their recent environmental efforts. Now, by no means is the manufacturing of roofing steel good for the environment, but when you look at longevity and cost, realistically, it's the best option out there for New Zealand. Where we source the steel from is the interesting part. I was always under the impression that if we were using iron and steel that was manufactured in New Zealand, it was going to be better for the environment. This isn't necessarily the case. In New Zealand, we use iron sands as our raw material for creating iron and steel due to the abundance of it on the west coast. Now, we're the only country to do this. Most countries use iron ore as their raw material, and both have a different set of environmental impacts. At the end of the day, it's a really complex issue, and it's not just about the CO2 emissions being created from the manufacturing process. I've been down a full rabbit warren exploring this, and unfortunately I don't have a clear-cut answer. The best guidance we can take as consumers is to use businesses that have an EPD certificate, which Diamond Roofing has. Thanks for watching. In the next episode, we'll be exploring something called thermally modified timber. Be sure to follow us on our social accounts or subscribe to us on YouTube. Thanks.